Yes, welcome to Bikes with Ride. Thank you for clicking on my video. I'm at a Yamaha dealership and today I'm going to be test riding the 2021 MT-09 SP. All the specifications of the bike will be in the description below. This review is just going to be all about how the bike rides, how I find it on a first ride, and try and relay that to you guys. Right then, here we go. MT-09 SP. Let's jump aboard. I've got a route in mind. Find me way. Where's the indicators here? Oh, there we go. Turn right here. Okay. Obviously, straight away, first impressions are very relaxed riding positions. You can see plenty out the mirrors. Good visibility. Nice wide tank, chunky tank. Key down here. So I like all the switch gear. There's lots going on here. I like the TFT display. First impressions, I can see clearly the readout of the speedo, and you got your rev counter along the top there. Sounds good. We try some of these modes now. Actually, apparently this button here is just to change the mode. So you've got 4 different modes on this. So I assume it just happens instantly. So I'm going right back to, I've backed it off to mode number 4, and that should supposedly make it almost like as if it's in a snow mode or a rain mode, which I was advised is great to use if you're going around town. So I can say instantly that it does feel less snatchy. The throttle, it feels like you, I mean, apparently it's well, supposedly it's the same amount of power in every single mode. It just changes how it produces it from the input of the throttle. So I guess if you're in mode 4, until you've really pinned the throttle, you're not going anywhere. Whereas obviously in mode number 1, yeah, well, we'll try it now actually. So we're in mode number 1, yeah. So, oh, okay, it's a lot more urgent now. When I sat on the bike initially, I thought it's quite a, oh, let's just change down a couple of gears here. I'm not quite familiar from where I am, getting carried away. When I'm pulling away, something to note there, I don't know if it's because the bike's just running in or not, but it's not so smooth on the clutch, so it judders ever so slightly. I'll try that again actually. Let me just pull up here again. Straight down to first. Yeah, so it feels, yeah, there's a little judder to the feel as you pull away. Oh, the quick shifter's lovely and smooth. Oh, and the down blipper. Okay, that's very good. That's butter. Wow, that's very smooth. That's the smoothest quick shifter I've felt. Up and down. The peg is really soft. So I have to say it's a nice place to sit. This is the R1M paintwork which you get with the SP, and the tank is really nice. As I say, it's a nice cockpit. It feels like a lot of bike for the money so far. You look down and you see the big gold KYB forks. This TFT screen is really nice. Yeah, I like all of this. It's a bit like the Triumph that I have, the Street Triple. Nice finish on the handlebars. Alloy bolts. You've got the reservoir here, which is clear. Find a place where we can just do a little walk around. Oh, look at that nice Ferrari. Here we are then. I love the gold forks. On the MT-09 SP, you get this colour combo. So you obviously have the R1M paintwork, so blue wheels and yeah, silver and blue and black here. It's very nice. Absolutely love the polished alley swing arm there. I think it's got some kind of lacquer over it, but that looks really nice. This is quite nice. I like that they've got this plastic here at the end of the radiators. I like the frame. I like the shape of the frame there. Very nicely done here. MT-09 SP here, and we've got the vent here. So the scoops are sucking the air, and the Yamaha badge point out that obviously this is a gloss black, and the indicator's on. And I thought they were LED, they're not quite. I think it's just a bulb here, and it tries to impersonate an LED bulb, if you see what I mean. Look at this is a gloss black. So this is typically chrome here. No blingy brakes on this. The front mud guard, you've got Yamaha on here. Now with the MT-09 SP version, so the SP is £1,000 more than the standard model, but really I think what you're paying for is the Öhlins rear shock there. The KYB front forks, they're also fully adjustable. Nice metallic finish there in the black. The silver's very nice. We've got the transformer looking logo there for the MT range. Engine's a nice colour, that looks nice finish. Look to the tail end here. I'm not sure I'm too keen on the tail. Obviously if you fit a tail tidy it would remove all of this, and I guess it would make the bike look ever so front heavy with not really anything on the rear as a feature. I'd just like to show you the TFT display in more detail. So if you can see, we've got the red counter along the top, speedo here, gear indicator, your rider modes. So you've got a TCS mode and you've got a D mode. You've got your fuel gauge here, so we've got 3 bars left. You've got your time, and I like here that we've got obviously the indicators, a neutral, and all your switch gear here. So this is how you change your rider modes. Well, you've got mode here at the back, so you can flick between TCS and D mode, and then you choose up and down to flick between the numbers. Obviously indicators. You've got cruise control on the SP, another feature, which is what you get when you spend the extra bit of money. Not sure what this is. I guess you can do, okay, so flicking through here, I'm not going to touch too much on it because it's not my bike, but it's only a demonstrator. But and then obviously your stop start button. So how about you drop a comment below on what you think about the looks of this MT-09. So let's swing a leg over it. Okay, how is it to sit on? Well, let me just, hang on, let me turn the hazards off. So yeah, you're sat, the seat's really low. So if you're, for me, I'm pressed up against the tank now, and you can see there's quite a bend in my knee. I'm easily flat-footed there. I'm 6 foot tall. And the bike feels ever so light. What a day for it, eh? Lovely out today. Oh, it's so nice to ride motorcycles when it's like this. So we're on a good bit of road now, so I'm going to try and give the handling and suspension and brakes a good feel. So let's talk about a few things then with regards to the handling and how that felt, and the suspension. So because you're in quite a relaxed riding position, it doesn't necessarily make you feel like, you know, like you're going to get your knee down around the bends. You're sitting quite low in the bike and your hands are relatively high in comparison. So when you chuck it into a bend, it doesn't feel like, you don't feel like hanging off the bike per se. And the suspension is, it's a bit hard, it's a bit firm in places. It seems to crash over bumps. Now I am currently in the region of about 90 kilograms, so considering my weight, I'm relatively heavy for a 6 foot male. So you would think my weight would mean that the suspension would be a little bit softer. So I would think if you're lighter, the suspension would be that bit harder. Again, as I'm coming down this road, you're not going to see it on the GoPro, but the suspension seems ever so firm. I can't say the KYB forks work with the Öhlins rear suspension. There's noticeable difference there in the way they feel. As for the front brake, Well, I'm going to be honest, I think the front brake feels a little bit wooden. Unfortunately, I'm used to top of the range Brembo brakes, so on the Street Triple, and then also I test rode the Duke R, and the brakes are unbelievable. And it's not all about the braking power, it's also how the lever feels. And I'll be honest, when you pull this lever, it does feel a little bit wooden. So there is an initial bite, but then after that it doesn't feel like much is happening until you really pull the lever. But I think it's worth mentioning about the brakes and the fact that the Street has the Brembos and the KTM has the Brembos. It's not to say that Yamaha can't replicate a similar level of braking force or feel, but when you're paying 10,000 or just over £10,000 for the SP model that we're on, and then you consider the KTM and the Triumph are of a similar price, these things do stand out to you. Riding around town, it feels, because of the seating position, it's ever so relaxed. I feel like I could ride this all day long. This is something you could go touring on. I'm going to say it straight away. This is something you could ride all day, no bother. I think it does need a screen though. I'm going to say that I'm not so sure about the wind protection on this. I think it's the way you're sat on the bike, and because you're more relaxed on this, and you almost feel like you're trying to catch the wind in the seat position that you're in. So what do I think to the engine then? Well, the engine, now being a triple, of course it's going to sound lovely, and it does. I think putting an exhaust on this would really enhance that, and it would sound beautiful. I've actually heard MT-09s with an exhaust on, these sound absolutely amazing. So it's something I would personally do. I think it's something that you would like to do, especially when you've got a triple, you want to release that sound. I'm going to put it in 6th gear here, and I'm going to try and accelerate from, so we're doing 37, we're at a 60 mile an hour limit road, so I'm just going to try and see what it's like to pull from such a low gear and low RPM. So we're at 2000 RPM now. Yeah, so because it's an MT-09, quite a large engine, yeah, that was lovely. There's so much torque there. So then, my summary of the 2021 Yamaha MT-09 SP. Firstly, shout out to Flittic Yamaha for lending me the bike, and also to say that the guys there were ever so friendly and helpful. Service was more than I expected. Right then, well, the MT-09 SP is an all-round great package. We are clearly getting a lot of bike for the money in SP trim. It is very well built, it's packed full of sophisticated electronics, has trick suspension, looks great, and is exciting to ride. Though it must be said that this is a road bike. This isn't something you would look to take on track, and that's okay. However, why are those KYB front forks so hard from the factory? And if you think they improve the speed, they unfortunately don't. It is of my opinion that you would need to look into having the suspension tweaked for our beautiful bumpy British roads, especially if you are relatively lightweight. As for the front brake, well, the feel left me a little disappointed too. However, with that said, the engine provides a smooth, wide spread of power and has this noticeable change of character once you really start to open it up. But if you just want to relax, then the engine can become so docile too. Though I must mention that the fueling at low revs can sometimes be a little, let's say, a crispier side of smooth. The quick shifter and blipper were better than expected, but only really above 2nd gear. It wasn't too clean going from 1st to 2nd. I would actually really recommend the MT-09 as your first big bike. It isn't so extreme, and the 4 power modes available would really allow you to grow into it. The bike is packed with superb rider aids to keep you in check. Anyhow, for 2021, Yamaha have really improved on their MT-09, and I would highly recommend you give this bike a test ride. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on another. See you later.